We've all been there, right? You write some code, and hey, it works. But how often do we write code that actually survives? That's what we're digging into. We're going to talk about making that leap from just being a coder to becoming a true software craftsman, someone who builds things that are made to last.
Oh, you know that feeling, that cold sweat. You've been wrestling with some gnarly piece of logic for hours, maybe even days. And then, finally, it works. You quickly commit it, close the file, and just pray you never ever have to open it again. That, my friends, is the it works trap. And honestly, it's where good software goes to die.
But what if you could escape that trap for good? Well, you can. In this explainer, we're going to break down 3 foundational pillars that will totally transform your approach. This is how you go from someone who writes functional code to a craftsman who builds truly resilient systems.
All right, pillar number 1. This is all about being pragmatic. I mean, let's be real, right? We live in a world of crazy deadlines and last-minute changes. Perfect, beautiful, elegant code, it's not always going to happen. So the real secret to survival isn't about avoiding messy code altogether. It's about knowing how to manage it strategically.
And that's where this idea of a quarantine zone comes into play. Seriously, think of it like a digital hazmat suit for your code. When you're under the gun and have to write something, let's say, less than ideal to hit that deadline, you don't just let it spread everywhere. No, you isolate it. You contain it, preventing it from contaminating all the nice, clean parts of your application.
So what does this code contamination actually look like in the wild? Well, it's the classic spaghetti code monster we all know and fear. You know, the one where you've got validation, business rules, and database calls all tangled up in one giant unholy method. It's an absolute nightmare to test, impossible to understand a month later, and trying to change it, forget about it. And here is the magic of the quarantine zone in action. Look at that. We've taken that entire tangled mess out of the controller and moved it into its own dedicated service. Now the controller is clean, it's simple. Its only job is to direct traffic. All that complex, messy logic, it's safely contained over here, easy to test on its own, and ready for a proper refactor when we have breathing room. This is how you write code that actually survives contact with the real world.
Okay, on to pillar number 2. This really builds on that first idea, and it's all about the incredible power of small, consistent improvements. You know, we all dream of the Big Bang refactor, where we stop everything for weeks and fix all the things. But let's be honest, that almost never happens. The real secret to a healthy code base is making tiny, positive changes every single day. The whole philosophy behind this is something called the Boy Scout rule. It's super simple, but so powerful. Every time you touch a file, just leave it a little bit better than you found it. That's it. We're not talking about huge architectural overhauls. We're talking about building a habit, a culture of constant, low-risk improvement. One tiny change at a time. So what do these small improvements actually look like day to day? Well, here are 3 super simple, high-impact things you can start doing, like today. Renaming a cryptic variable like U to user. Using something called guard clauses to get rid of those deeply nested if statements. Or if you're in TypeScript, finally getting rid of that dreaded anytype. Simple stuff, big results. Okay, let's look at a classic example. This is the kind of code that is just screaming to be refactored. I mean, look at it. We've got a vague function name, that dangerous anytype just waiting to cause problems, and this maze of nested if statements. Trying to read this is like solving a puzzle. And that kind of mental friction is just a recipe for bugs. And now, just look at the difference. It's night and day, right? We've gone from that tangled mess to what feels like a clean, simple checklist. The better name and the strong typing already make us feel safer. But the guard clauses, they are the real heroes here. They make the logic jump right off the page. This is code that you actually want to read. And more importantly, it's code you can maintain without fear. All right, our third and final pillar. And honestly, this one might be the most critical of all. It's all about resilience. Because let's face it, things are going to go wrong. It's inevitable. And how your code behaves in those moments of failure, well, that's what separates amateur code from truly professional, production-ready software. The absolute key to building resilient systems is understanding this one thing. Not all errors are the same. On one hand, you have operational errors. These are the problems you expect, like a network timeout. You need to handle those gracefully. But on the other hand, you have programmer errors. These are just bugs. For those, you don't handle them. You need to fail fast. Let it crash. Hiding a bug is one of the most dangerous things you can do.
So here's your 3-step battle plan for bulletproof error handling. It's simple. First, define your own custom error types for those operational errors we talked about. Second, in all your business logic, your only job is to throw those errors. Don't try to catch them there. And third, create one single global place to catch and handle all of them. This simple pattern will make your app so much more robust and predictable. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so we've covered these 3 big pillars, but how do we actually bring all of this into our daily work? Well, it starts by changing our mindset, by thinking like a craftsman. And a great way to start is with a simple checklist you can use every single time you do a code review, whether it's on your own code or someone else's.
Think of this as your new code review's secret weapon. Instead of just looking for missing semicolons, start asking these 4 powerful questions. Is this code safe? Is it clear? What happens when it fails? And have we properly isolated the complexity? When you start asking these questions, you stop writing code that merely works, and you start creating code that is truly well-crafted.
Look, this journey from coder to craftsman, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about one big heroic effort. It's about a daily commitment to getting just a little bit better, one line of code at a time. So my challenge to you is this. When you go back to your work today, find one small thing. What's the one small improvement you can make to leave the code just a little bit better than you found it? Because that is the true mark of a craftsman.